So what does the giant whiskey drinking community think about GLENMORANGIE, the original, the Scotch? We're doing it neat, on the rocks, cocktails. Ancient tradition demands that we start with the most critical question of all. What was GLENMORANGIE sound like? Not yet.
Dan, can you get it tighter, please? All up in it.
Oh
Hey!
my God.
It's time to bring on the flavor cloud for GLENMORANGIE. I hate this. All right, the two of you will compete to name the most frequently tasted flavors. Reveal the flavor cloud. Gentlemen.
Yes?
Please flip a Glen coin to see who claims the honor of first flavor.
Beast eye in the barrel of the
Beast eye.
shield. Okay. Are you doubling down on the beast eye?
Yep. Every time.
Yeah.
The flavor cloud is a visual representation of the flavors whiskey drinkers are collectively finding in GLENMORANGIE. The bigger a word appears means the more people are tasting that specific flavor in their whiskey. The contestants are locking in their answers now. Rex, you chose honey.
Again? Damn it.
Daniel,
Yes.
you chose toffee.
That's right, I did.
Oh.
Now, before I reveal the points, I would like to introduce a new lifeline, the veto. You each have the option to veto one of your opponent's guesses, so if you think their flavor choice will be too powerful, you have one chance to stop them and cancel the word.
Oh.
Understood?
Yeah. Can I call it in now?
Well, hold on, just maybe not now. Maybe just like let the idea of it sink in a little bit.
Yeah, this was
Maybe.
definitely the best one.
Well, hold on. But if you use it now, then you won't have it for later.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna
you're-
veto honey.
I will tell you, honey would have been worth 126 points.
You bastard!
Hey, I did not invent the rules.
Okay.
Choose another flavor, Rex.
Game on.
Rex's new submission is vanilla,
Yeah. That was the next best.
worth 56 points.
Okay. So what was mine worth?
12 points
12?
for toffee.
Only 12 people put in toffee?
It's time for the next round.
Okay.
Now, I should state for the record, I am rocking the championship belt. I don't want to intimidate you or anything. But
That's so cool.
Okay, the answers are in. Fruit, Rex was worth 28 points.
Yeah.
okay.
Your choice of citrus was worth 50
Oh,
points.
come on, man. Really quickly, Daniel. I am tapping into the raw power of my championship belt buckle, but can you see one design flaw?
What? You can't drink it? Oh.
This is actually the final round, so please submit your final answers. Rex, your final flavor choice was malt.
That was a good one.
Daniel,
That's a good one.
your final choice was peaches.
So if I veto that, what's your next thing gonna be?
I can't like I tell you.
Let's go ahead and veto. Let's go ahead. It's fine. It's
All
fine.
right.
I don't think it's that strong. I don't think you have anything backed up that's as good as peaches, though.
Done.
Rex, your submission of malt was worth 47 points.
That's solid.
Daniel, your original flavor was peaches, which would have been worth 6 points.
Oh, I should not have vetoed.
Your new submission of orange is worth 51.
What the hell?
No!
Okay.
Oh,
I should
yeah.
not have vetoed that.
Daniel's final score is 113.
Okay. Before you say my score, hold on.
Ugh.
Go ahead.
Rex's final score, 133.
I got closer than I thought I
good.
did.
You won.
Peter's shake weight.
Oh.
Wow, this has seen some use.
Look,
Is this
because
Peter, is this it?
I think you need this
Right there?
more than I do.
Right.
What are the 5 biggest flavors most often
Jesus.
experienced by a glorious horde of whiskey-loving magnificent
Oh.
bastards?
What?
The top 5 were honey, vanilla, orange, citrus, and malt.
How did that one get so big?
So those are the biggest flavors collectively being experienced by people who have tipped one back with the GLENMORANGIE. We're gonna try it on ice, we're gonna try it on cocktails, but before we do, I think we've learned a lot. My wisdom is rock hard right now. It's the perfect opportunity for us to consider this episode's sponsor. This episode brought to you by Scentbird. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that lets you choose from over 600 brands to try and shop. How's your wisdom before we get started?
It is rock hard.
Okay, we got this. Dan, what do we need to know about the Scentbird? We got the samples here.
It's a flexible subscription, so you can skip any month without penalties, right?
Okay.
We're going to send you some designer fragrance. Every month you get to pick what you want to receive, so there are no surprises.
All of them come in these things here.
Yeah, it's like the Men in Black thing. Like,
Okay, these are like big samples.
These are cool.
This is like a full-on, I would go to a store to just buy something this size.
Burberry, Brit for men.
Mine says Marie Jean, Mercedes-Benz sign. All right, I will reveal my favorite when you reveal your favorite.
Oh, this is hard.
But your wisdom is up to the task.
Yeah, this one's my favorite.
Which one is that?
The Burberry.
Ah, it was my favorite too. Bam.
Much more bearable.
Bearable.
Scentbird carries Prada, Gucci, 100% authentic. They work directly with the brands to get you the sample sizes.
Holy hell, so you get sample stuff of like the super expensive people. Yeah, you know what? It's kind of like a whiskey. You want something, you want to try it out, but if you're gonna go all in for like hundreds of bucks, you're rolling some fat dice there. So at home, going through all of like the brands and checking out which things sound interesting, getting a sample, and then you just go through it for how much a month?
15 bucks.
15 bucks a month until you find your scent. That's pretty damn good. So if you have no idea where to start, you can take a simple quiz on Scentbird. It's gonna be linked in the description below. It's gonna help you narrow down your preferences so you can start getting some samples that are likely gonna be just right for you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Say more things. They like to hear you say.
Yeah.
So we asked you in the Whiskey Tribe community tab, how do you prefer to drink GLENMORANGIE? Neat. No ice is 78%, so the vast majority of Magnificent Bastards are drinking it neat. On the Rocks comes in at 17%, and then only 5% in a cocktail. You ready to try it on the rocks?
I am.
Okay,
So this is one of my favorite ones for an easy on the rocks.
Okay, so you pour this on the rocks. I don't know if I've ever had it on the rocks.
Yeah.
I want to look at the top 5 flavors that we got from the Flavor Cloud just now. And
It was honey, orange, citrus, vanilla,
in malt.
and malt.
Yeah.
Malt jumps out on the nose.
Okay. It does, it's the fruity malt.
Yeah.
A very fruity malt.
Fruity malt goes straight to the top.
Now, of those top 5 flavors, were there any of those flavors that you didn't agree that you personally were finding? Because rule 1, the best whiskey is whiskey you like to drink the way you like to drink it. It can be very subjective, but across that many people, that's a lot of people having a similar experience.
I agree with all of them.
Okay, now the other thing, across categories, because we just saw in a recent video, there was Irish, they said vanilla.
Yeah.
And then they said honey.
Well,
but
you
it's
know
a very different palate.
You know why?
Why?
Because that's what oak does with grain spirits.
Okay.
That vanilla note is going to be in every oak aged grain spirit.
Whenever you're going from category to category, the thing to keep in mind is vanilla-ish, yes.
Yeah.
But
In the-
what angle of vanilla? There's a lot of different kinds of vanilla. There's a lot of different kinds of fruity, a lot of different kinds of, there's tons of different honeys. Have you had like the artisanal honey stuff?
Yeah, think of like the variation in a color palette. Is it red? Yes.
Yeah.
But what side of the red color palette is it?
Yeah.
So for me, because bourbon cask Scotch doubles down on the vanilla.
Bourbon cask.
If this had been sherry cask dominant, then the vanilla is going to be buried.
And then the honey, it's more of like a sweet classic honey in the Irish for me. This is much more of like a fruity floral honey.
And when you sip it, what comes forward is that malty honey.
Oh, it
honey
really
and
does.
malt.
It really, the citrus and the orange, yeah, that really dulls down with the ice.
But still has character, unlike
Yeah.
Jameson, which just disappeared instantly. This one still has some character to it.
This is a tricky one. You like it better neat?
Neat.
I am impressed at how well it does it on the rocks, and I would probably be putting this on ice much more so than I would other things. Yeah, it's good.
It is good.
So this is what happens with GLENMORANGIE at a very chilled temperature. Have you seen what it does at a very hot temperature?
No.
All right,
Okay.
let's see what happens to Glenmorangie in a cocktail, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, what cocktail are you feeling?
So I chose the
Yeah.
Rusty Nail.
Okay, did you just choose this, or did you choose this and you made this?
I did not make it.
Thank God.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay. We had Richard, a real bartender, put this together for us. It's the Rusty Nail?
Yes.
Okay. This is very much Glenmorangie. Right out of the gate. You're not having to like try and find what the whiskey is.
Because the last cocktail we had was overpowered by
Yeah.
the mix and
Yeah.
everything in there. So that's why I chose this one, because we'll definitely get the Scotch flavor.
Actually-
and Drambuie actually has some blended Scotch in it.
Ooh. It gives it like a bit of a cinnamon in addition to the
Yeah.
Glenmorangie flavors. Ooh, I like that.
There's like honey in there a little bit.
Spiced up Christmas honey in addition to
Yes.
like the more fruity floral honey it was giving up. What's been most surprising to me is how much you can still taste even after you get it cold with rocks or in a cocktail.
This isn't like a cover up all the alcohol.
Right.
And I have a fun fact about it.
Okay.
Drambuie is derived from Scots Gaelic, and it came from Andrambude.
Are you drunk right now?
Andrambude, and it means the drink that satisfies.
Now, a lot of people love Glenmorangie because for a Highland, it's really approachable. It has these nice honey and orange and citrus notes. It's got the malt, but it doesn't have a lot of peat smoke or aggression. And there's another whiskey that I think, if you like Glenmorangie, would be a good exploration whiskey. That whiskey is Cardew 12. Now, Cardew is a Speyside distillery that's actually owned by Johnny Walker and largely responsible for the largest percentage of malt in a lot of the Johnny Walker blends. But by itself, Cardew replicates a lot of the things that you would love about Glenmorangie, but doubles down on that citrus apricot note and then gives you just a little more pepper and zest in the nose and in the palate. That's good.
It's time for the crowd score. You see what I did there with the crowdsourced score and rating? Crowd score. It's fine. What does the whiskey drinking community think about Glenmorangie? Coming in at 1 star, 3% think it's absolutely horrible. 2 stars, 14% think it's just meh. 3 stars, it's good. Vast majority of people at 52% think it's good. 4 stars, think it's great. It's 28% of the people. And then 5 stars, magnificent in every way, 4%, coming in at the average crowd score rating of 2. Still not very dramatic. So the top comment for this is Pacific Network. He says 4 out of 5. Only because I can't do 3.5 out of 5. All right, really quick. The way that you're rating, we can only do 5 options in the community tab polls. So the only question you need to ask yourself is, if you're between like a 3 and 4, for example, is it a 3.4 or is it a 3.6? And then just round up. Once we have the average of everybody, then it'll work itself out. But there's no 0.5. It's a decent introduction to single malts, especially for bourbon drinkers. It has flavors and scents that are easy to identify, like vanilla, cream, malt, citrus, and oak, but not a lot of layers or complexity, which is actually nice sometimes. I don't always want a thinking dram where I have to dig through stuff. It's perfectly adequate and affordable. Also, 43% ABV is a nice little bonus. The value is definitely factors into this one for me. I would agree. The average score coming in at like 3.2? Personally, I would put it just a little bit higher than that, but I think we're definitely in the ballpark there. In the comments below, it's time to figure out what we want an upcoming video to be about. So the way that you do that is in the comments, do #try, and then the whiskey name that you want us to do in an upcoming episode. It's time for a distillery update. We're gonna hop behind the scenes and check out the Community's Distillery in Austin, Texas. So one of the things that we're going to be doing in 2022, remodeling this back room, because we took all the distillation equipment out of this room.
Yeah, it used to be right here. So step 1, we lift this up and make it a walk-through. Then over here we're gonna build a booth because inside is going to look like you're sitting inside of a giant barrel.
We need more interior seating.
For now, we're going to bring barrels in here and just have 3 or 4 barrels with stool seats around them. And then the bar is going to go from there to in here.
It starts in that room. We're just going to expand it.
So that whole area becomes seating. We will eventually put actual doors and glass in this. And then maybe we do some barrels that get aged in here.
Big shout out to all of the MBs in the Whiskey Tribe Patreon. Crowded Barrel in Austin could not exist without you. You start with your head on my shoulder. Get off me, you fucker. I'm gonna try and keep it together.